Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I asked on Facebook if you'd rather I show you how to make brioche bread or Japanese cheesecake, and the Japanese cheesecake won by a landslide. So in preparation for this video, I went to the gym, I lifted like a weight. I am prepared mentally and physically to eat this entire thing, and I'm very, very, very excited to make this cheesecake. I love cheesecake. I love cheesecake, but I'm also slightly lactose intolerant, so I can't really eat New York style cheesecake that much because I feel like crap. But this style, the Japanese cheesecake, is much lighter and it has much less cream cheese in it, but it's leavened mostly with egg whites and a little bit of flour and some cornstarch. So this variety of cheesecake, I can probably eat the whole thing and not feel like I can't move or shouldn't leave the house because of lactose things, TMI. Japanese cheesecakes kind of busted onto the scene, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, a few years ago. They got really, really popular in North America, and I feel like it's because people got obsessed with the pretty jiggliness of it, right? Like, it's very appealing to look at, and people were like, what is that? How do you make it? What do you mean it's cheesecake? And I too was obsessed with the jiggliness, because, I mean, come on, who doesn't love a little jiggle, right? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so these gained popularity very quickly. I saw like BuzzFeed videos on people trying to make them, and Uncle Tetsu's opened up. There's, one in Vancouver, there's one in Toronto. I believe they're opening one in Ottawa sometime this year. So it kind of became a huge thing. They're much lighter. It's kind of an afternoon type dessert, like a high tea dessert or something along those lines. If you watched my fluffy pancake video, which go watch it if you haven't, come on, go show me some love. We made them extra fluffy by whipping our egg whites and gently folding them in. And that's kind of a similar process today. You get that really nice, airy, fluffy texture by gently mixing our batter together, and then we're gonna whip a whole bunch of egg whites. We're gonna make a little meringue, add some sugar to it, and then we're going to fold in the meringue into the cake base very gently in 3 additions, and that is what's really gonna help it stay nice and fluffy and give it that kind of jiggly bang. It is a little bit daunting, I would say. People might look at this and be like, I can't do that, how am I gonna do that? It's not that difficult. The hardest part about this recipe is making sure you don't flatten your batter, so making sure you're very, very gentle in the folding of the ingredients, and the baking process. So we are gonna bake it in a water bath like you would bake a traditional cheesecake, but this has two different temperatures that we're gonna be using in the oven, and there's a few different steps we need to follow while it's baking. It actually has 4 different stages while it's baking, and they're very important so that it doesn't deflate, so that it doesn't crack. I believe the best part about this cheesecake is that you don't need to cool it overnight. You don't need to cool it on your counter. You can eat it right away. So I'm going to talk about our ingredients, talk about our equipment. We're going to make the batter together, and then once I get it in the oven, I will show you the different stages that it goes through while it's baking. That being said, nothing to it but to do it. So I'm going to talk about our ingredients right now. Cup of cream cheese. I have 6 eggs that I've separated. So 6 egg yolks and 6 egg whites. I have 2/3 of a cup of sugar that I've also separated, so 1/3 in each container, okay? I have 1/3 of a cup of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice and a teaspoon of lemon zest, 1/4 cup of butter, 100 mLs of whole milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. As far as equipment goes, I've got a sifter, a whisk, and a spatula, some mixing bowls. I've got our handy dandy archaic hand mixer, a springform pan. This is a 9-inch springform pan that I have wrapped in tin foil, and I've prepared it. So I rubbed a little bit of butter on the inside, on the edges, and I put a little bit of flour in there and tossed it around so that when I take out the cheesecake, it won't stick. And then I've got a big old roasting pan because we are going to have to cook it in a water bath. So as far as process, the first step is beating your cream cheese until it's nice and smooth. Okay, nice and smooth. Now I'm going to add in my 6 egg yolks and 1 of my 1/3 cups of sugar, okay? So half the sugar. And now I'm gonna whisk it all together so it's nice and smooth and well blended. It's always important that we scrape down the sides, because if you look at this, my batter looks nice and smooth, but I still have chunks of cream cheese on the edges. So always stop. I would say scrape your sides down twice. All right, so this is nice and mixed. I'm just gonna go rinse these bad boys off because I'm gonna need them again. And then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so the next step, we're gonna take our milk and our butter and we're gonna heat it up. So I'm just gonna heat it up until the butter is melted. I'm just gonna pop it in the microwave to do that for about a minute. Now that this is good to go, I'm gonna mix it into my batter. Okay, so now that this is mixed, I'm gonna add in my lemon juice and my lemon zest and my vanilla extract. Now, once it's all mixed together, I'm going to get rid of my whisk and we are going to work with a spatula only with the batter, okay? Grab your sifter, my flour, cornstarch, and salt. I'm going to sift it into my batter and then I'm going to fold it. And now we're folding. So under, over, turn. All right, my batter is nice and smooth, no lumps. So I'm gonna set this to the side and now we're gonna make our meringue. In my other mixing bowl, I'm gonna add my egg whites and then we're going to start whisking. And we only want to beat until we start to get some nice foam and then we're gonna start incorporating our sugar. So now I'm gonna start adding in my sugar slowly. So you want to beat it till you get to soft peaks and they're nice and glossy. So mine are almost there, but not quite. All right, so boop, up and then it falls over. Now we need to carefully fold it into our batter. And you want to do this in 3 additions, okay? So under, over, turn, be very, very gentle. So now that my batter is ready, I'm gonna pour it into my prepared tin and I'm going to put warm water in my roasting pan until it's halfway up my tin. Now the first initial baking, I have my oven right now set to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to bake it for 18 minutes and then you're gonna turn your oven down to 300 degrees Fahrenheit with the door closed. We're gonna bake it for another half an hour. Then we're going to turn the oven off, keep the door closed for another half an hour. And then we're going to open the oven door and remove the cheesecake from the water bath and let it cool down in the oven for another half an hour with the door cracked open a little bit. Let's do it. Okay everyone, we are back. So I pulled it out of the oven and I removed the tin right away. You'll see that as it cools down, it'll pull away from the sides and you shouldn't need to loosen it. And this is our finished product. So it's still, you can see it's got some nice height, but she's jiggly, she's good. And now I'm gonna cut a piece and I'm gonna try it. Oh my God, it's like cutting through a cloud. She jiggles. Ooh. It's cooked. It's got, you can see the nice air bubbles in there. It didn't flatten. It's got some nice height. She wobbles, and now I get to try it. Ooh. It's the lightest cheesecake you'll ever eat. I love desserts, but I love desserts that aren't like punch you in the face with sweetness. So this is pretty much perfect. All right, everyone, that's it for me. Hope you guys give this recipe a try. Don't forget to leave this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Drop a comment down below if there's something you want to see me make, and subscribe to my channel to see new videos like this every Wednesday. Have a good week, guys. Bye.